What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we got the predictions for UFC 318. This is a pay-per-view card. Listen kid, this is badass. How do you not put Roman Kopylov in the co-main event of a fucking pay-per-view in 2025? You're gonna like it, kid. If you don't know, now you know. This card is mid as fuck. This would be an amazing fight night. And I'm not trying to complain, because, the card's going to be fun in execution. I do think we're going to enjoy watching this card. I think the main event's going to be fun. I think the co-main, the feature fight. I can only really look up and down this card. And I can only point... these are the fights that I think have a good chance of being boring. I think Pitbull might be shit. I think Vtori Allen might be shit. I think, Croo versus Pratt might be shit, and then Judice versus Caliari might be shit. That's 4 out of 14 fights that I can realistically see end up being a stinker. So I do think this is going to be a very fun watch. I think this is going to be a very finish heavy or scrap heavy card. But it's just I'm okay with them doing that for fight nights. I'm okay with them making an understacked fight night in terms of name value, but all the hardcores know they're going to be bangers. But when you're expecting people to pay money for pay-per-views, and you get 14 pay-per-views a year, and this is one of them that they're dishing out, and it's got fucking Dan Ige on the main card. I'm sorry, bro. Patricio Pitbull's on the main card. What are we doing? Anyway, though, I'm not going to complain. It'll be fun. It is what it is. I'm not going to pay for it anyway, so we're chill. Anyway, shine bright like a diamond. Poirier's retirement, all of that shit. And yeah, we got some of my guys fighting on the card. We got Roman Kopylov. Listen, kid, we got Vinicius Olivivera, and we also got Atiba Gatier as well. Kid's badass. So yeah, that's solid card. Anyway, let's get into it. Over under for this video is set at 27.5. Place your predictions in the comments. Obviously, you can already see how long the video is going to take. But anyway, let's get started. So, first up, Judice versus Caliari. Now, tried and true method. Pick the woman who you wouldn't goon to. And that's Carly Judice. I could see myself having a goon to Nicole Caliari. If you take a look at the IG, there's some potential there. There's probably an OnlyFans future, which is disappointing. But still, she's hot. She's got a pair on her as well. But that is not what we're looking for when we're picking winners in WMMA. What we're looking for is mid women, especially Brazilians, mid Brazilian women. That's especially helpful. No Brazilians here, so there's no when you're getting two. Oh, well, Caliari is Brazilian, but she's the good type of Brazilian, not the Gabriela Fernandez type of Brazilian. But anyway, that's my breakdown for this fight. No technical breakdown. I'm picking Carly Judice. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Next up, Bruno Ferreira versus Jackson McVey. Pick the dude who doesn't look like a crackhead. Now, to be fair, a lot of crackheads do quite well in fights, but when you're looking at low-level, unranked quality fights, women, you pick the uglier one. Men's fights, you pick the dude who looks like he's lifted weights before. If you pick an unranked quality fights, and that usually works out decently unless you actually know that they're skilled. So I know Jackson McVey has probably fought a bunch of bums, and I'm not going to trust anyone on the America. This dude's not fighting on this guy isn't fighting on Tough Enough or on fucking Octagon or any shit like that. He's fighting on just straight bum. I don't know why I said Tough Enough. He's not fighting on Octagon or KSW or any of this shit. He's just fighting on straight bum American regional promotions, where we see most of those guys just end up being mid as fuck. So I'm gonna be picking Bruno Ferreira. He's KO'd RoboCop. He's KO'd a few guys. He was booked to fight Ikram again. He was booked on this card compared to McVey, who was booked against Cedricus Dumas and was even money to beat Cedricus Dumas. Literally part-time fighter, full-time 21 Savage wannabe. He's fighting Cedricus Dumas, and then he was going to fight that other guy who missed weight by 10 pounds and got cut. So Jackson McVey, I'm going to assume he's not very good, and I'm going to pick Bruno Ferreira, who does have very good KO power, and who did also sub Petrosian. He's just got a physicality advantage, and it's not like he's not used to being at a reach disadvantage as well. So I got no issues seeing Bruno Ferreira get a pretty easy TKO early on in the fight. Let's move on though to the next fight. Next up, Ryan Spann versus Lucas Berski. Pick the heavyweight with an ounce of muscle definition. That's again, women's fights, you pick the ugly one. Unranked, like, bum fights, you just pick the one who looks like they might be good at martial arts. Heavyweights, pick the one who looks like they've got an ounce of muscle definition and don't look like they've just come off a fucking 200-pound weight loss and are still getting skin flabs removed. Lucas Berski, like, you're skinny fat. I'm not picking you to win. Ryan Spann sucks and he's retarded. And I know Lucas Berski beat Volta Walker. Lucas Berski beat the worst version of Volta Walker. And the thing is, if you're gonna beat Volta Walker, to me it's like, can you actually, like, finish him? Like, I know we haven't seen him lose because he's obviously beat Mays and he's beat Tafa and he's beat Nzedjiku. But again, I'm not sure any of those guys are very good either. Like, I'm not sure I'd actually pick any of those guys to beat Ryan Spann, to be honest. Unless I'm a casual and one of them, or I think, has Nzedjiku fought Ryan Spann? I have to check this. Or maybe they were booked. Kennedy. This is potential left lane casual alert. Because I just forget shit sometimes, Surely Kennedy and Nzedjiku's fought Ryan Spann. Those two feel like they would have fought back at light heavyweight. Am I a fucking idiot? Oh no, they haven't fought. Never mind. I don't know why I thought that fight would have happened. Does that not sound like a fight that would have happened? Surely that was booked. Let me check Topology. I need to know if that was booked, because I swear to God I remember that fight being booked. Kennedy and Nzedjiku versus Ryan Spann. Anyway, if not, regardless, whatever. I'm picking Ryan Spann. Lucas Berski sucks. He got smoked by Kennedy and Nzedjiku. It's one of those weird three-way... no, he's never even been booked against him. Weird. Anyway, it's one of those weird, like, three-way MMA math things that, like, is retarded, but it somehow works out. Volta Walker beats Kennedy, Kennedy beats Berski, Berski beats Volta Walker. It's like there's many other options of that, in other divisions and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Lucas Berski sucks. He got fucking KO'd by Mick Parkin. This dude made me think Mick Parkin had hands. Like, Mick Parkin's fucking sucks, and this dude made me think Mick Parkin was, like, a menace on the feet. Because he fucking put this dude away in a round. So, yeah, Ryan Spann should victimize this dude via having athleticism and muscle in his body. He did lose to Waldo, but Waldo just beat, quote-unquote, I thought he lost, but had a close enough fight with Spivak, who is top 10. So, if you can be top 10 at heavyweight, it's not a high ceiling, but at least it means you're not a complete blob and a bum. So anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Next up, Jimmy Croo, Marcin Prachnio. I'm going to pick Jimmy Croo. Jimmy Croo has grappling potential, and Marcin Prachnio is shit at grappling. He got subbed by Modestas Bukauskas. So, he got head and arm triangled by Modestas Bukauskas on the wrong side of his body. And even on the feet, he was, like, kind of getting tagged up before he randomly caught Bukauskas with a fucking head kick in boxing range. Don't know how that works. But anyway, yeah, he's not very good. Marcin Prachnio sucks. So I'm picking Jimmy Croo. Again, you can't trust Jimmy Croo. If this was not Jimmy Croo and it was anyone else with grappling, I would be picking them as a lock to beat Prachnio because he sucks. I'm not impressed by the fucking William Knight fight. That was actually fixed. And you can't convince me it wasn't. Like, William Knight stood there and threw no punches. Apart from that, though, Prachnio, again, you're looking at a fucking Bukauskas. He beat Devin Clark. Devin Clark did fuck all and just let himself get kicked at range. Like, his striking's good. If he stays on the feet, it's not good. But if he's... Like, he's been subbed by Petrino. He's been subbed by Bukauskas. Felipe Lins beat him. I'm not looking at this man and seeing anything. He somehow beat Khalil, but that was before Khalil went to Thailand, aka probably started taking steroids. No accusations there, just assumptions. But anyway, coincidentally just goes from fucking being a bum, unranked quality fighter losing to Marcin Prachnio to just now being a top 5 light heavyweight. It's Thailand, guys. Anyway though, Joe Rogan, we're just gonna glaze, but anyway, I saw also Rogan's not commentating this weekend, interestingly enough. I was doing my nighttime scroll, my nighttime IG Twitter scroll. I saw something else on Twitter which I didn't want to see. If you know, you know. I assume by the time you're listening to this video, it'll be everywhere by now. I caught it early. I got onto it at the time of recording. The McMeat... The McMeat has been leaked. The McMeat is out there floating around the Twitter spaces. So that's interesting enough. But Who am I even talking about? Jimmy Croo should win this by sub. But let's move on, though, to the next fight. Next up, Adam Fugit versus Islam Doltov. You're picking Doltov if you're trying to be fucking crafty somehow and just, like, assuming. But, like, there's no real, like, actual technical logic to picking against Doltov here. It's just, like, vibes of, like, maybe he'll get fraud checked. But I think the Doltov fraud check doesn't come here. I think it'll come down the line. I think he's quite good. Do I think this dude's gonna just aura max his way into, like, the top 5? No. He's young, so maybe he can improve. But, like, he's got that model, like, he's a model background. He's got the model background or whatever. Do I think he's, like, 100%, like, wanting to be a champion? Probably not. So, will he make the top 5? I doubt it. Will he probably get fraud checked by, like, a fucking Jeff Neal or some shit? Probably. But, yeah, Adam Fugit is not Jeff Neal. So, I'm going to assume he runs through these lower-level bombs who have no striking defense and shit chins. So, yeah, it's Doltov by KO in the first, I'd imagine. Let's move on, though, to the next fight. Excited to see the debut, though. Here, we got a few good prospects. I'm excited for Doltov. I'm excited for Gatier's return. I'm excited for another step up the division from Vinicius Olivivera. So we got some good prospects on this card to keep an eye out for. Let's move on, though, to the next fight. Next up, we got Gatier, as I just mentioned, versus Robert Valentin. Now, originally, this was on the fucking feature fight of the pay-per-view, so I don't know what the UFC were doing. They also had Ige as the fucking co-main. It was very easy to just say Costa Kopylov co-main. Like, that's the combination of probably going to be a good fight, and it's got third biggest name on the card, I would imagine, would be Paulo Costa behind the main eventers, obviously. But this on the feature fight, I got it originally. Now it's, I think, the opening prelim. I would have made it like the featured prelim. I would have did the main card Poirier, Holloway, Kopylov, Costa. I would have made I would have said Holland's feature fight. Then I would have said Vtori, Allen on the main card, and then I would have said open the card with Vinicius Olivivera, Kyler Phillips, and then I would have said featured prelim this, Dan Ige, Pitbull, no one actually gives a fuck, Zeliba, that, whatever. Open up the prelims with Doltov. Because I was like, featured prelim into the pay-per-view, you're probably going to get a big highlight reel KO from Gatier. That's the pick. It's round 1 KO for Gatier. But, yeah, anyway, I'm picking this dude. Again, what's the breakdown? He's just jacked and fucking throws heat. Like, he's just mini Ngannou, and he's just going to swing bombs and just probably KO Valentin. Maybe he's got shit, like, maybe he has zero wrestling and he just gets taken down, but he's physical. He fought a Japanese wrestler on Contender Series and seemed to display solid enough counter grappling, so I'm going to assume he has that still in his bag, and I'm going to assume he's improving rapidly. He's 23. This man was asked who his idol was in MMA. He said, obviously you got the comparisons to Francis Ngannou. Is that like your idol? He's like, no, the guy I look up to is Lerone Murphy, because that's who he trains with. So yeah, like if your idol's Lerone Murphy, you're probably going to be just rapidly improving with good technique, and that's why I have high expectations for him, because he's not just like raw power, no technique, just swinging like Ngannou. He actually displays some good, like, solid technique, patience, not just bum rushing everyone. So I think he'll handle Valentin comfortably. Let's move on, though, to the next fight. Next up, Francisco Prado, Nikolai Veretnikov. This is, I think, apart from the main event, the closest fight in odds on the card. I'm picking Prado. I'm surprised he's the favourite, to be honest. I figured they'd just make Veretnikov the favourite because, like, he's the welterweight. Prado's smaller. You know, but, like, my thing is, I'm picking Prado. He looked good against Jake Matthews. Like, well, not look good, but he did a lot better than Chidi and Joe in comparison. And Veretnikov just sucks. Like, I don't think he's good. Originally, I was like, close decision with Danny Barlow. Maybe that's not Danny Barlow being mid. Maybe that's just you being really good. No. You know, he's not good. Danny Barlow went on to get smoked in the first round by Sam Patterson by KO in his very next fight. Sam Patterson's a grappler, by the way, not a striker. Sam Patterson got KO'd by Yanel Ashmus, just so we're talking about the same guy here. And so, yeah, you went to a split decision with that guy. I don't think he's that good. I don't think Barlow's good. I don't think Veretnikov's good. And Veretnikov just got fucking finished by Austin Vanderford in his last fight. Prado's young, he's improving. I know he's got some rough losses on the record. The Malaki loss especially stands out. Like the Matthews loss and the Zeliba loss I can excuse. He smoked his Aito in a round. To me, that's like the finishing potential's there. He's not a guy who quits. We can see that by all of his fights. He doesn't get finished. He's got an iron chin. He's like a little mini Argentinian Drudoba. Fun as hell to watch. I think he'll come forward and just throw bombs. And Veretnikov displayed the ability to quit in his last fight. That's what I take more. Not like, oh my god, Vanderford sucks. How'd you lose to him? It's more just like, yeah, you quit. Like, Vanderford just applied pressure to you for like more than like 2 minutes. And you just quit. And just was like, yeah, I'm good. And just got out of there and just got packed up in a box. And then you pushed your opponent afterwards like a rat. So, yeah, fuck Veretnikov, he's a bum. Anyway, Prado for the W. Let's move on to the next fight. Next up, Brendan Allen, Marvin Vtori. I'm going to go with Brendan Allen. I could see the Vtori underdog side here in terms of, like, he's finally not going to be fighting like a really good striker. But I just don't think Vittori's very good. Like, I guess, I know, and he's not going to be improving. Like, I still think Allen has, like, actual hunger in his career. I still think Allen is, like, I know Vittori's only 31, which is crazy to say. Dolidze didn't really try and wrestle him too much. Has anyone tried to wrestle this dude recently? Like, it's kind of weird. Cannonier got 4 out of 6 takedowns on him. Dolidze, the first fight, didn't really shoot at all. Whitaker took him down the only time he tried with that nasty like double leg duck under, which was a sick combo. Costa took him down the only time he tried. I'm looking at other fights. Like, he's not some brick wall takedown defense guy. Hermanson got him down twice in their fight. Like, I'm not looking at some guy with a 90+% takedown defense. Like, that's not what we're looking at here. I think Allen can kind of muscle him around a bit. Vittori's like a tanky dude, but I don't think he's like tanky to the point of like, oh, he's going to be really strong and just stop. Like, we're talking about Brendan Allen, who ended up on top in moments against Anthony Hernandez and had actual good grappling success in the first with him. We're talking about a guy who dominated and just top controlled the whole first round against Amavov. Now, yes, he then proceeded to miss all of his next 9 takedowns, went 1 for 10. But he took down Chris Curtis 6 out of 13 times. Curtis is a guy who's typically been difficult to... Like, Curtis before that fight, there was the idea of, like, Curtis is not top 10 caliber, but you might have found the one guy in the whole top 15 that Curtis can actually beat stylistically because of the takedown defense. And this is a Curtis who hasn't looked that good recently. He didn't look particularly good against Max Griffin. He didn't look incredible against Kopylov. He looked alright against Kopylov, but Curtis kept it competitive, which is not the best look, but at this point I think Curtis is like a better boxer than Marvin Vtori. Like, I think Curtis would probably win a 3-rounder against Marvin. So this fight's 3 rounds, which definitely favours Allen. And it's not like Allen's gonna punch himself out looking for a finish. Like, he doesn't really strike for the most part. He's not that KO guy. He's not reliant on a KO either. And I think he can just grapple. He'll probably just smudge him at times, but I just think he's too big and too strong. And he's going to be improving. Like, my logic is he has to be improving. Like, how old is Brendan Allen? He has to be improving. Unless he's 29. Unless he's just completely been deterred from his entire career and he just thinks he's shit now and just gave up on himself, which I doubt. In which case, even still, Vittori's looking more and more washed by the fucking, like, fight. He's not improving at all, and I don't imagine he's got desire or hunger or realistic assumption to ever get back into the top 5. So I'm picking Allen. I just think he's a better grappler. I think Vtori, what's he going to do? Like, KO him? Vtori doesn't KO anyone. It's pillow hands Marvin. Like, who the fuck has Vtori looked good on the feet against recently? And I could just see Allen, like, out damaging him on the feet. Like, just being able to sort of land bombs. Not bombs, but like, Vittori's striking is just so shit that Allen wins the stand-up exchanges. So I think this is like a 30-27, 29-28. Pretty comfortable. Maybe Vtori takes the third. I don't see him winning this though. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Next up, Vinicius Oliveira, Kyler Phillips. This is my boy Vinicius Oliveira. I think he finishes Kyler Phillips. I could just see him kind of dominating to a decision, but I don't see Kyler Phillips winning more than a round. Like, maybe he wins a round. Oliveira's lost a few first rounds. You know, he lost the first to Saeed. I think he lost the first to Sopaj as well. He has the potential to lose first rounds, but stylistically, I don't think this is going to be, like, I don't think he's a better striker than Saeed Nurmagomedov. I don't think he's quicker than Saeed either, to the point where he can kind of, like, outland him and be a bit quicker to the punch or quicker to the kick, which was kind of what Saeed was in that first. And And I also haven't seen Kyler Phillips be some elite grappler who's ragdolling people and getting them in near submissions or taking them down and securing back control. Like, who's he doing that to? So, I don't think he wins this fight. To me, if you're going to beat Vinicius Oliveira, you either got to make him pay on the feet in terms of, like, make his defense pay, because sometimes he does leave himself open to shots and just KO him. Kyler Phillips is not a KO guy. Kyler Phillips is like a kind of out-pointy, dance around. Rob Font fucking took this dude down, I'm pretty sure. Like... Or maybe he took Font down. I don't know. But this dude's not that good. Like Kyler Phillips, he beat Pedro Munoz. And that, like, we look, masterclass against fucking Pedro Munoz. Oh, no, he took down Font. Never mind. Sorry, I thought Font took him down. But, like, he outlanded Font a bunch. Landed, like, 100 strikes. Doubled him on strikes. But, like, Munoz. Munoz is fucking old and mid. Munoz lost to Zahabo. Munoz is not good. Munoz is, like, 2-7 in his last 9. And he beat Barcelos, which has aged well, but it's like, I don't know, stylistically, I still don't think Barcelos is incredible. I think he's just getting decent matchups for himself. Submission over Marcelo Rojo in the 3rd round. Again, this dude also popped for PEDs and got suspended. Not a good look. Lost to Julian Paiva, beat Song Yadong. These are way back, but I think he's not a guy, I think his cardio is mid as fuck. And I think Vinicius Oliveira is a guy who just doesn't care and will just push a pace and beat you. So, he's 22-3. He's clearly doing something right. He's 29. He's coming into his prime now. And the Saeed fight really impressed me. Yes, it was sloppy. Yes, he looked kind of goofy at times. He got takedowns on Saeed as well. So, I think he can mix in takedowns against Phillips here if he needs to. But overall, I think his striking is just better. I think he's more powerful. I think he'll maybe not quicker, but I don't think Phillips is going to be able to fight at a pace to outstrike him on the feet. Like, Oliveira's not a guy who's, I don't think, just going to get out-technicaled and out-pointed on the feet, and especially not by a guy who doesn't have incredible cardio. Like, if this is a Peter Yan, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see he'll probably outstrike Oliveira. This is an O'Malley, like, we can talk. But I don't think this guy, if this is like a Song Yadong, I can be like, oh, maybe he gets clipped and cracked. But I don't think we see him lose until that like top 5, top 6 kind of area, like a Sandhagen beats him or an O'Malley beats him right now. But 2 years from now, if he keeps improving, because I think he's quite good, I really do believe this dude can be one of the better bantamweights in the world, which I think he already is now. I picked him against Ricky Simone as a plus 200. I picked him against Saeed as like a plus 150. He opened at like plus 225, which I thought was insane. Should have jumped on that number. But I've been the OG Vinicius Oliveira supporter. I've been the guy who's been telling you about, let me tell about this kid Vinicius Oliveira. If I had to guess, Dana's, if you don't know now, you know for this weekend, I'm guessing it's going to be the Gatier Valentin fight, and it's going to be Oliveira Phillips, is my prediction. Maybe Zeliba versus Michael Johnson as well. But I do think he wins this. I just think he's a better striker, better overall fighter, better MMA fighter, more grit, more toughness, all that. He's just better than Kyler Phillips. Let's move on, though, to the main card. Next up, Daniel Zellhuber, Michael Johnson. I can't be fucked talking about this fight. Zellhuber's going to win. Michael Johnson's old and he's shit. I know he beat Ottoman Azaitar, and he can randomly, like, fluke out, like, a fucking crafty performance, but I don't think you're pulling out a crafty performance against Daniel Zellhuber. Like, this dude is just going to outstrike you. He's got KO potential. And I'm not going to forget that this dude gets put into a fucking, like, fetal position. And just gets, like, put into a fucking stiffened board position by anyone. Like, I know Josh Emmett KO'd him, but, like, Carlos Diego Ferreira is not a power puncher. And this dude put him into a fucking, like, seizure. Like, Zellhuber's going to finish this dude. Maybe he's just content to outstrike him. I don't view the Ribovic fight as that bad of a look. Like, he fought a tough South American dude with a fucking incredible chin and just grit and just crazy output. I don't think that's Michael Johnson. And I don't think he's getting KO'd by Michael Johnson either. So, yeah, the pick is Zellhuber pretty comfortably. Let's move on. I don't know why it's on the main card, though, I guess. Quick turnaround for the Mexico card, I suppose. Anyway, or the Noche card, I should say. Let's move on, though. Next up, Dan Ige, Patricio Pitbull. I'm not doing Pitbull tape, bro. I'm just not going to pick him to win. Like, he's 38. He's clearly not in his prime. Dan Ige looked pretty solid against Sean Woodson. And even though he's getting up there in age, like, we're still seeing this dude put it on Diego Lopez in the 3rd. We're still seeing this dude have Lerone Murphy rocked badly in the 1st round. Like, I still think Dan Ige got it. He's putting away Sean Woodson, early stoppage or not. Clearly it was early, but whatever. I picked him against Sean Woodson. That was a crafty pick by me. He just seems to be able to kind of deal with all these guys. And it's not like he's been fighting one archetype of fighter with his, like, Pitbull's been fighting just a bunch of Bellator guys, and then he immediately comes over and gets Yair and just gets tuned up. So it's like, he doesn't even know where he fits. Like, it's not like he's fought the champ and went close with him. It's not like he's some guy from another promotion, or even like Asakura coming in from another promotion. You get subbed by the champ, you're like, alright, whatever. It's like, you fight like the number 5 ranked guy and you just get tuned up. You're like, am I good? Like, all these UFC fighters just way better than me. Now, maybe Pitbull's really good and all of a sudden, and Yair's just incredible. But I think it's more likely Yair's mid and Pitbull's just washed. And Yair's just quicker than him on the feet. So, I just don't think Pitbull's striking's that good. Is he going to like output Ige? Is he going to out-grapple him and sub him? I don't think so. So, I got Ige. Until I actually see Pitbull be good, I think I just have to start never picking these Bellator guys in their first fight until I actually see them be good. Because even though a lot of them win their first fight, and if I know they're just incredible or their opponent's a bum, I might pick him. But like with Rizvan, I had to pick Blades to beat him. The fight was close, and now I get to pick him in his next fight, assuming he fights like one of those lower ranked guys. So that's the thing with these guys. Come in from other promotions, I gotta pump the brakes on you like fucking Tafik Masai. Like, alright, let's chill. Let's get the test where you are, and then I'll feel more comfortable picking you, because I'm not basing my prediction off fucking tape study from some bum fight that you had in fucking, like, straight beefs. Like, I don't know. Anyway, let's move on, though, to the next fight. I got Ige by decision. Let's move on. Next up, Kevin Holland, Daniel Rodriguez. I'm picking Kevin Holland. I'm picking KH. I'm picking Big Mouth, Trailblazer, whatever we want to call him, 45-70. He's just going to beat D-Rod. And the crafty call here is the sub. Because anytime you pick a Kevin Holland fight, everyone always goes TKO. TKO, KO, he's going to drop him and catch him, put him away. Luque, I picked him to beat Luque by TKO, you know. I picked him to beat Chiesa by TKO. But my thing is, he fights these jiu-jitsu guys. And this isn't D-Rod, but just in general. Like, he fights some of these guys and he'll drop him, and he subbed Tim Means as well. He likes to actually wrap up dashes a lot of the time. Like, the Ponzi fight he finished with, like, ground and pound and shit. But, like, and he took Gunner to a decision, but he basically got him out of there in the first almost. But I feel like D-Rod, and maybe it's just because Daniel Rodriguez lost to Neil Magny by dash choke, I believe it was. That's a terrible look. Getting subbed up by Neil Magny in any time this decade is just inexcusable. So yeah, if you get finished by Neil Magny, that's disgraceful. So I genuinely think Kevin, I don't think this is going to be like a Holland takes him down masterclass subs him. This is a Holland drops him because he's way quicker and a better striker than Daniel Rodriguez. And then just instead of trying to finish him, because he's pretty tough and D-Rod doesn't get put away often, he just wraps up a das and just taps him. So I'm going Kevin Holland by sub. And he'll probably turn around and fucking fight on like 320 or some shit. Maybe sooner. Who knows? Maybe the no-J card. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, we've got the co-main event, Roman Kopylov versus Paulo Costa. I'm picking Roman Kopylov. I can't pick Costa to win fights against anyone good. Like, Costa, I don't think Costa's good anymore. Like, I actually think this dude fucking sucks. He looks so mid in all of his fights, and it's just, Kopylov is just the perfect archetype to just beat him. Because he's a better striker than him. And it's like, I don't think Costa is just ragdolling this dude to attack. Like, Whitaker was able to sort of just technical masterclass him on the feet. Strickland was able to just jab and teep this dude. The thing is, Whitaker and Strickland have shown that this dude is so hittable. Everyone's shown it. Izzy's shown it. Every fucking human being that he's for. Luke Rockhold fucking showed it, for fuck's sake. Like, 40-year-old, old-ass, veneers Luke Rockhold. Showed us that Paulo Costa is hittable as fuck. And that's Costa's only win this decade, I'm pretty sure. Let me know in the comments if that's incorrect. I don't think it is. I just don't think, I can't pick him to win. Like, because again, this is my thing of Strickland and Whitaker showed that you can land on this dude whenever you want. But the only reason why they didn't 50-42 him is because they don't throw much output. and Strickland leaves himself to just almost get robbed because he doesn't throw any output. So Costa can just swing like a few big meaty hooks around and just somehow get a robbery scorecard on from the judges. With his Kopylov ain't going to do that. Kopilov's not dancing around on the outside landing one strike every 25 seconds. Kopilov's going to put it on you. He's going to spam body kicks on you. He's going to rip shots into your liver. He's going to go up high with kicks. He's going to put combination output on you. And Paulo Costa, the myth of him being a power puncher is a thing of the past. Like, he has not hurt anyone with his hands in fucking ages. It didn't even hurt Rockhold. I don't even genuinely think this dude had a Rockhold in, like, major trouble from strikes. And I know, it's like the Romero fight, but so I think that was so long ago. He's been a shell of himself since the Izzy fight, but even before that, I don't actually think he was incredible. Like, I actually never think Paulo Costa was that good. I just think the Romero fight, because Romero is just so willing to engage in a brawl, and that was clearly not, like, prime Romero. After the Whittaker 2 fight, after both Whittaker fights, you can't really say that was, like, the best Yoel. And he just kind of brawled with him, and fair play, Costa hung in the brawl, and he took some shots, and he has a good chin. But Izzy kind of cracked his chin a little bit, and then since then he's just looked so unwilling to exchange in it, like anything really. He'll scrap a little bit, but Sean Strickland backed this dude up. Sean Strickland is like not intimidating as a fighter. Like, Strickland would whoop my ass if I fought him, but like, bro, you can't tell me every single one of these guys just backs up. I know everyone does, like Izzy does it, it's weird. Drickus is the only one who didn't, and sure enough, he fucking beat him. But like, I think Kopilov's going to back Costa up here. He's going to just spam kicks. He's going to hurt him. He's going to get him thinking, and then he's going to go up high with a kick and either KO him or TKO him with a head kick, drop him, or he's just going to be too sharp and just rock him with his hands. So I think Kopylov wins. I don't think we see a Costa, and I think for Costa to win, it would have to be via grappling. I don't think he wins a decision here, and I don't think he wins by KO. So the pick is Kopylov confidently. Anyway, let's move on. Next up, main event of the evening, Maximus Hollowayus versus Dustin Poirier 3, the trilogy, the last dance of the diamond, you know, all of that shit. And I'm going to be picking Maximus Holloway to get the win here. I just think he's better than Poirier at this stage of his career. Like, I just can't, I'm not like overly sold on Poirier being like an elite fighter right now at this point. And I know he's beat him twice. I just think those are different versions. Like, I think that's very clearly a different version of both guys. And even though he is coming off the TKO loss to Ilia Topuria, Max Holloway that is, and I know Poirier's coming off like a better than expected performance against Islam, stylistically I just think Poirier is just going to get outclassed and schooled here on the feet. And I know it's sort of MMA math or MMA algebra, like it's like that three-way fucking circle of, if we're looking most recently, I know Poirier has a win over Gaethje as well, but like Poirier lost to Gaethje, Gaethje lost to Holloway. Holloway lost to Poirier. Hang on. Yeah, Holloway lost to Poirier. Poirier lost to Gaethje. Gaethje lost to Holloway. Like, it's that weird three-way, like, how does this shit work kind of thing. But this time, I think it's going to be Holloway beats Poirier. I think he's quicker. I think he's sharper with the hands right now. I think Islam landing on Dustin as much as he did I don't think that's as much as like, oh my god, how good is Islam? I think that's just Poirier not having his best like weapons anymore, not having his reflexes, not having his best like defense, his counters, all of that. And yes, he kind of whooped up BSD a bit in the second round. He was getting tagged up by BSD. He was getting tagged up by Michael Chandler. Like, I'm sick of acting like, I'm not acting like people aren't recognizing this stuff, but I'm not gonna just sit here and act like Michael Chandler and BSD with their big meaty hooks weren't cracking this dude. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like Justin Gaethje didn't outland this dude and KO him in the second round. Like, competitive first, but I thought Gaethje was landing the better shots. And he gets him out of there in round 2 with a fucking head kick. Like, is Poirier going to head kick Holloway? Probably not. But I just think he's sharp and quicker, and it's okay. Maybe Holloway's chin's gone. That's the one concern here, would just be Holloway's chin. It's one of those ones where once he gets KO'd, he immediately has no chin. And maybe that's why the odds are close, Because otherwise, I just don't see a reason for these odds to be even close to even money. Like, I would line this at like minus 180, minus 190 max. And I think maybe the only other reason is just because of the second fight, where it's like, oh, but Poirier kind of has the power advantage right now, and you can put it on him early. But I don't think that's what happens. I think Max looked so good against Gaethje, and I just think the lightweight to featherweight skill difference is going to be more evident this time than the first time, where Max was clearly not prepared, clearly not at his best. And yeah, there's not much else to say. I just think I'm not overly anticipating of the fight itself. It's kind of just like, it'll be nice to see Poirier one more time. It'll be emotional, whatever. See him go out, shine bright like a diamond. There is kind of like a vibe of just Poirier wins. It's kind of Poirier by vibes. Because if you try and do any technical breakdown, it's just like Holloway should win this, based on how they've both looked recently. So the only other thing to do would just be, hey, vibes, shine bright like a diamond, and just pick Dustin. But I'm not going to do that. I was kind of toying with it to just say, like, fuck all logic, shine bright like a diamond, let me just take Max. So let me just take Dustin in his hometown. But I can't. I just don't think he's going to win, so I'm not going to pick it. I'm not going to just pick something via vibes. I think this will close around like minus 150 as well. I think some of these odds, if we're talking about, this is the betting aspect of it. I think if you're going to get on Max, do it now. This fight was closer to like minus 110 each side. It's kind of edging out towards Holloway minus like 120. Get on Max now. I think he's going to widen unless anything notable happens during fight week, like he looks shit at the weigh-ins or anything, which I don't think he would, going back up to lightweight, which I think at this stage of his career is his better weight class. I think Kopolov's going to get closer to like minus 300. I think jump on him. I think Holland will probably widen out to like minus 600. Zeliba might get out to minus 700. Most of the times, whenever you see these favourites, the odds widen, they don't close. Occasionally you see them close. Pitbull, I could see Ige, Pitbull kind of closening a little bit. Vinicius Oliveira, I think Vinicius Oliveira is going to close like minus 220. Get on Oliveira now. He's under minus 200, I'm pretty sure. Get on him now before people realise that he's clearly got Phillips outmatched. Gatier, Doltov, those kind of big prospects will probably hover up a little bit more. Apart from that'll do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know your predictions in the comments. Who are you picking? Again, another card where I'm not really tempted by a lot of underdogs. I know the favourite lane MMA comments are going to be out in full effect, but if I see an underdog I think is going to win, I'll pick him. Like, if Prado was an underdog, I'd pick him. If Max was an underdog, I'd pick him. If Kopolov was an underdog, I'd pick him. It's not me only picking favourites. It's me picking the fighter who I'm going to win, and a lot of the time they are favourites because the odds makers aren't retarded. So I'm not just going to sabotage my picks just for the sake of picking an underdog. If I was going to say underdogs to win, if I had to pick three that were most likely, I would say Vtori. I would say maybe Caliari could win. I doubt it. And I guess like Veretnikov, I guess, could maybe win. But other than that, none of these underdogs are like overly tempting to me. That'll do it though, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, Twitter, all that bullshit. You know what to do. And yeah, McMeet. Check out the Twitter spaces, check out the Twitter if you haven't seen it already. I don't know what he's doing. Why has he got a weight strapped to his cock? Anyway, goodbye. See you later.